The year is 2025, and the world is witnessing significant geopolitical shifts. The transatlantic relationship is at a crossroads with tensions rising on both sides of the ocean. Two major figures from the United States, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, have become lightning rods for controversy in Europe, stirring public and political unrest. Trump, with his renewed push to acquire Greenland, has reignited fears of American imperialism and territorial ambitions. Musk, facing a Tesla crisis in Europe, has alienated consumers and investors alike with his controversial actions, erratic behavior, and political stances. These events have sparked a wave of pushback against American influence, signaling a potential shift in the dynamics between the U.S. and Europe, and raising questions about future alliances. The stage is set for a clash of ideologies and ambitions, with both sides preparing for a new era of diplomacy. Europe, long accustomed to being a close ally of the United States, is now asserting its independence and pushing back against what it perceives as overreach by American figures, seeking a more balanced relationship. This essay will delve into the details of these developments, exploring the reasons behind Europe's defiance and the potential long-term impact on U.S.-Europe relations as the world watches closely. In a move that sent shockwaves across the Atlantic, former U.S. President Donald Trump, re-energized after reclaiming the White House, revived his controversial ambition to purchase Greenland. This bold move reignited debates and discussions that had been dormant since his first proposal in 2019. On March 13, 2025, during a meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Trump reportedly expressed his interest in acquiring the massive Arctic island, citing its strategic importance and resource potential. He emphasized the potential benefits for both the United States and Greenland. Trump's proposition was met with swift and decisive rejection from Denmark, the European Union, and NATO. The international community stood united in their opposition. Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, echoing her previous dismissal of Trump's 2019 offer, reiterated that Greenland is not for sale. She firmly stated that the island's status was non-negotiable. She emphasized Greenland's autonomy and the right of the Greenlandic people to self-determination. The sentiments of the Greenlandic community were clear and resolute. The EU, through its foreign policy chief Josep Borrell, issued a statement condemning any attempt to undermine Greenland's sovereignty. The message was unequivocal and firm. The response to Trump's Greenland gambit was not merely a matter of territorial integrity, it represented a broader rejection of what many Europeans perceived as American unilateralism and disregard for international norms. The memory of Trump's previous attempts to pressure Denmark, including canceling a state visit over the Greenland issue, fueled resentment and solidified Europe's resolve to present a united front. European leaders, diplomats, and analysts pointed to Trump's Greenland ambitions as a symptom of a larger problem, a growing disconnect between the U.S. and its European allies. They argued that Trump's America First policies, his disdain for multilateral institutions, and his cozying up to authoritarian leaders had eroded trust and damaged the transatlantic relationship. While Trump's Greenland maneuver dominated headlines, another American icon, Elon Musk, was facing his own set of challenges in Europe. Tesla, the electric vehicle giant that Musk had built into a global brand, experienced a dramatic decline in its European fortunes in early 2025. The company's sales plummeted, its reputation took a hit, and its future in the region looked uncertain. Several factors contributed to Tesla's European crisis, but they all pointed to a common theme: a growing backlash against Elon Musk's leadership style, business practices, and political views. European consumers, investors, and policymakers, once enamored with Tesla's sleek designs and promises of a sustainable future, began to question the company's ethics and its commitment to European values. Section 5. The investor exodus: ethical concerns take center stage. One of the first signs of trouble for Tesla in Europe came from the financial sector. In January 2025, two of Denmark's largest pension funds, PFA Pension and ATP, announced their decision to divest from Tesla. The move, which sent shockwaves through the investment community, was driven by growing concerns about Tesla's environmental and social governance, or ESG, record. PFA Pension cited concerns about Tesla's labor practices, particularly its treatment of workers at its factories in the US and Germany. ATP pointed to Tesla's environmental record, specifically its high carbon footprint and its history of safety issues with its self-driving technology. Both funds expressed concerns about Elon Musk's leadership style, which they deemed erratic and unpredictable. Section 6. Labor unrest: a continent united against Musk. Tesla's troubles in Europe were further compounded by a wave of labor unrest that spread across the continent. The company's refusal to sign labor agreements with unions in Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland triggered widespread strikes and protests. Workers accused Tesla of unfair labor practices, including low wages, long hours, and unsafe working conditions. The labor disputes had a crippling effect on Tesla's operations in Europe. Ports refused to unload Tesla shipments, factories were forced to halt production, and deliveries of new vehicles were delayed indefinitely. The strikes garnered widespread support from labor unions across Europe, who saw Tesla's actions as an attack on workers' rights. Section 7. The Musk Factor, Controversy and its Consequences. At the heart of Tesla's European crisis lay the increasingly controversial figure of Elon Musk. Once hailed as a visionary entrepreneur, Musk's public image had taken a significant hit in recent years due to a series of questionable decisions and pronouncements. His support for Germany's far-right AfD party, his clashes with EU climate policies, and his opposition to labor rights alienated a growing segment of European consumers and investors. Musk's erratic behavior on social media, including his penchant for spreading misinformation and engaging in personal attacks, further tarnished his reputation and that of Tesla. His acquisition of Twitter and his subsequent decisions to reinstate banned accounts and promote conspiracy theories raised alarms about his judgment and commitment to democratic values. Section 8. A Transatlantic Rift, the Future of U.S.-Europe Relations. The events of early 2025, from Trump's Greenland ambitions to Tesla's European crisis, have exposed a growing rift in the transatlantic relationship. These incidents have highlighted the underlying tensions and differing priorities between the two regions. Europe, once a reliable partner of the United States, is asserting its independence and pushing back against American influence. This newfound assertiveness is reshaping the dynamics of international relations. The reasons for this shift are complex and multifaceted, but they point to a fundamental realignment of global power dynamics. Economic interests, political ideologies, and social movements all play a role in this evolving landscape. The long-term impact of these developments remains to be seen. However, it is clear that the traditional bonds are being tested like never before. Some analysts believe that the U.S. and Europe will find a way to repair their relationship, emphasizing shared values and common interests. They argue that cooperation is essential for addressing global challenges. Others predict a more permanent decoupling, with Europe forging its own path on the global stage. This could lead to a more fragmented international order. One thing is certain, the transatlantic relationship is at a crossroads, and the choices made in the coming years will have profound consequences for both sides of the Atlantic. The future of this partnership hangs in the balance.